And everybody knows it now, so they can stop saying all the clean words and use the dirty ones. I'm gonna start, if you don't mind, because I know how to.
Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call the meeting to order, and the first order of business this evening is going to be that the board is going to go into an executive session. So we're going to do a quick roll call. I need my pen. And as soon as I finish my roll call, I'm going to read an announcement, and I'm going to ask everybody to leave the room. And then a few minutes later, we'll open the door and invite you all back in. So to begin with, we're calling the meeting to order precisely at 6:30. Our chair will be chairing tonight. He just landed. We're giving him a few minutes to get up to speed with us. For a roll call this evening, to my right, I have Rich. I'm writing in Semple, Veronica Debonese, myself. To my left, all the way down the end, we have Jacob Morrison. And we have Troy Larson. And to my immediate left, we have our chairperson, Nazi Alkalasi. All present, no members absent this evening.
Did you say your
Okay,
name?
pardon me?
Did you say your name? Because you said myself, but not
I
you.
said myself, okay, I didn't say my name, Jim Ecobachi. Okay, so the executive session, the reason for the executive session is that appeal of a comprehensive permit, a 40B permit, issued for Settlers Glen on Red Brook Road, Mass General Law 30A, subsection 21, subsection 3, to discuss a strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares, to then reconvene to open meeting. That's the official words. Now you can all politely get up and excuse yourselves, and we'll open the door in a few minutes and invite you back in. Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the executive session that we just held was in reference to a 40B development down on Red Brook Road in East Wareham, and the applicant had come to the board and asked for a minor modification in what was approved. The board had denied that request, and it has since gone to mediation, and in mediation, some mitigation, some agreements were made, and the board in executive session has agreed to accept the mediated terms and allow the developer to convert the development from 10 buildings and 24 sale units to 10 buildings and 24 rent units. So at this time, the board, I will actually be making a motion to the board that the board accept the terms of the mediated agreement and find the agreement to be an insubstantial change to the original proposal.
Should we also add it, approve the changing from rental?
I said it.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion by Jim. Do I have a second on that? Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Jake. All in favor, say aye.
It's got to be by roll call again.
Okay, roll call again. Richard?
I just want to clarify, should we first make it not detrimental, so it's a minor
was part
change,
of-
and then, oh, it doesn't have to be two separate votes?
It's all part of the same motion.
Okay.
Rich?
Yes, sir.
No,
I'm
Rich
sorry, Rich.
Sample.
Yay.
Rich Semple?
Yes.
Yay. Veronica?
Yay.
Yay. Myself, Jim Ecobachi, yay. Nazi?
Yay.
Yay. Jacob?
No.
No. Troy?
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so again, it passes, in the public session, it did not pass unanimously, but it did pass.
Okay.
Any need from Rich or Ken to explain anything that's gone on or add anything to this?
Well, Mr. Chairman and Jim, just by way of explanation for public benefit of we had an appeal of the board's original decision to the Housing Appeals Committee. As you know, the Housing Appeals Committee is very pro-developer. The stated reason for the denial of the previous request had to do with the purported effect of the change of the way the property was going to be held, rentals rather than condos, and a claimed effect on the property in the neighborhood. That issue has been dealt with by the Supreme Judicial Court, Massachusetts, which has held that that's not a valid reason for denying such a change. I did take the opportunity to share the case with one of the member of the public, an interested party who was kind enough to write a lengthy position statement, which we advanced to the mediator in the hopes that that might change things. It didn't. And so what we've done is we have negotiated an arrangement where it would change from condo to rental. There would be 5 affordable units. 2 of the units would be project voucher units, which conceivably could bring the affordability level down to as low as 50%. And there would be a total of $10,000 paid to the Affordable Housing Trust to be paid upon issuances of certificates of occupancy. So that's the summary and an explanation. Had we gone forward with this to the Housing Appeals Committee, the result would have been that the Board of Appeals would have lost, and the town would have received nothing.
There were 2 other things that were added on to the agreement as well, which was the installation of conduit for a Wi-Fi connection, cable connection to the units, and the installation of a playground in the open space at the end of the road.
Quite right, Ken.
Okay, anybody in the public have any comments on this before we close this session? Sorry to be kind of...
No, go on, please.
Okay, neither in favor or against, okay. Then at this point, I'd like to make a motion to close the public portion of this application, of this
Executive.
session, this applicant, whatever. I move to close the public portion.
For the Settlers Glen. Do I have a
Settlers
second
Glen.
on that?
Second.
Second, no, it has to be Jake or
Second.
one of the other members. Jake, all in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye.
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 Oppose, abstain, so it's closed.
unanimous to close the public. I further make a motion to close this matter. We're done.
Any votes we have to do, Rich? Counselor?
We've made our votes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think you're all set. The rest will just be paperwork between the applicant and Ken with my review.
All right, very well. Thank you, Counselor. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, members of the board. Welcome home, Nazi.
Thank you,
Okay,
Counselor.
and I assume you want to stay on the phone just for entertainment purposes, or would you like me to hang up? Good night.
All right, so we're gonna go on for the preliminary business for 31-21 North Stars Management. Extension time to exercise use of variance. Yes, have a seat, sir. Name and address, and just refresh our memory for which one is that.
Good evening. This is Mr. Chairman, Dennis Connery, appearing on behalf of the applicant, North Star Management. This case, some of you may be familiar with, but the board granted a variance to my client, I think July 14th last year. A interested party filed a appeal to that within the appeal period.
What was the address and the property owner? I know it's North Star, but what's the address?
It was the
Was this Littleton
Charles
Drive?
Pillsbury property, the
Oh, the storage.
storage.
Okay, I got it now. All right.
And that case was filed timely. The case was pending until the parties came to an agreement that the case would, that the appeal would be dismissed. We were able to file that stipulation of dismissal signed by both the applicant and the appellant, and on April 13th of this year. So in my mind, we were prevented from using the variance from the time that this board granted it until April 13th, when we filed the stipulation of dismissal. So my motion to extend is to ask the board extend our time within which we must exercise the variance until April 13th of next year, to give us the year that is normally available to people to use their variances.
So whoever appealed the decision, they dropped it?
Yes, they
You guys settled?
Yes, and I filed a copy of the stipulation of dismissal with our application today.
Okay.
Do you want it extended until 4/15/2023? Or is it 2024?
4/13/2023.
4/13.
That's the, yeah, it was filed with the appeal. The appeal was dismissed by stipulation of the parties on April 13th, 2022. So that gives us a year from,
Start date.
All right, if you guys recall this, the Wareham Pharmacy, the old Wareham Pharmacy, for a variance to become storage, do you recall that?
I do.
Rich, you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your wishes? You wanna extend the variance or not?
I'm all in favor of extending it. I think it's a fair argument that he's presented.
I'd second that.
Okay, I have a motion to extend the variance by Jim, second by Jake. All in favor, say aye.
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 Oppose, myself, abstain. It's 4-1-0, so it carries.
thank you.
Just write the date for one. Thank you.
We didn't need to ask the public to comment on that.
No, it's not public, yeah.
It's not a public, it's preliminary, okay.
All right, we're gonna move to the public, continue public hearing, 15-22 Betty San Isandro special permit on Sandwich Road. Is Betty here? Is anyone on the public for Betty? For the
I think the public is here for Betty. That's the, that's the
dog
lady-
kennel?
The doggy daycare,
daycare?
yeah.
She didn't
She didn't reappear.
no,
huh?
but didn't she say,
I thought you said
We gave her the option and told her that she could come back this evening. The fact that she's not here speaks basically what we, I read her body language and her verbal response as, I don't want to fight the neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think she was coming back.
oh, I thought she withdrew, okay.
Okay,
that's
but
not
we
my
gave her, we.
All right, anyone here for that address, 58 Sandwich Road? Okay,
Does it
mean-
want to be heard, or?
do you wanna continue it? We'll hear them, but do you wanna continue it? What do you wanna do? Do you wanna, guys, we know, is anyone in favor of this project? I see none, and apparently everyone here still same idea like before, against it, for the noise, everything else.
I think that, I think all we're doing here is is delaying time. I think the appropriate action is to make a motion and deny the request. I would make a motion to deny the application.
Do you have sound online? Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah, who's there? Hello?
They may be muted. A lot of people don't know they have to click the button at the bottom left side of their screen to unmute themselves. They move the mouse down that way, it'll pop up. They still raising their hand?
Their hand's still raised, but they're also still muted.
Say it again?
Their hand is still raised, but they're also still muted.
Their hand is raised. What's the person's identifier? Paige? Hey, Paige, if you want to be heard, you have about 30 seconds to unmute yourself and be heard. We can't sit here all night.
Hello, sorry.
Thank you.
I'm on an iPad, so it was at the top. I was just gonna say, Paige Hagens. My mother lives at 54 Sandwich Road next door to the place. And I just wanted to say that the lady put a for sale sign on the building.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. For sale.
Okay, I make a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Oppose, abstain, it's closed.
I make a motion to deny the application.
Do you want without prejudice, or?
Without prejudice, that's right. Without, if for some reason we stumbled and she wants to come back, I don't want to make her to wait 2 years.
Right, okay. Do I have a second on that?
I second.
Second by Rich, all in favor, say aye.
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 Oppose, abstain. Okay, it carries.
Denied unanimously. Do we need to sign this? Yes, we do.
Okay, so that's done.
So,
Come back in 2 years.
oh,
Anytime, but a little different though, so less numbers.
it would have to be re-advertised and everything, just like,
Yeah, you will be notified again.
you get the certified mail again.
You'll start from scratch. Thank you. I don't think she'll come
Yeah, it
back,
seems
but
unlikely.
that's too bad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She wasn't gonna.
All right, Boston Providence Turnpike Associates, 16-22.
She said she sunk a bunch of.
And that's site plan review.
Good evening, Robert Perry from the
Hi, Counselor.
I sent a letter down, I don't know who got it and who didn't get it, requesting that this be continued.
I did see,
The reason is we're working pretty closely with Charlie. This got delayed because of Aaron leaving and things falling through the cracks.
Okay,
We got on track last week, we got Charlie's letter, we're working with him.
yeah.
Here's the original letter. We're working with the fire department, and I honestly trust that we will resolve a few issues that we still have outstanding and coming here with agreed upon plans at that time.
What are we even talking about?
the wizard behind the curtain needs you to use the microphone.
All right, we're talking about the car wash behind Noria. They need an extension. They're working with Charlie and Fire Department.
Thank you, Nazi.
Okay.
That makes it easy. So you need an extension July 13. Is there anyone in the public for that matter? There's none. What's the wishes of the board?
Grant them the extension.
Okay, it's motion by Jim. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Rich. All in favor, say aye.
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 Oppose, abstain. I guess we'll see you July 13.
Very good.
Thank you,
folks.
Counselor.
Thanks.
Just 1 minute. Public hearing, 18-22, Tyrone and Jenna Cardosa, special permit on 140 Minor Ave.
Sign and pass, please.
Just have a
We have
seat
to
and
read
give
it
us
in
a
before
second.
we can- And I just want to finish up some business from a prior hearing before we get going with you, so bear with us for a minute.
You both sign this.
And I get some stuff I can pass out. One for Rich. One for me. Nazi. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Jim, it's yours.
This is it. We don't need to put a lot of words in here because this is... This is done. The Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on June 22nd, 2022 at 6:30 PM in Room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 18-22 for a special permit from the requirements of Article 3, Section 320, under the Wareham zoning bylaws to Tyrone and Jenna Cardoza of 4 Old Onset Road, Onset, Mass., proposing to change the use of the existing structure from a mixed-use building to a 6-unit residential structure at the subject property located at 140 Minot Avenue, Wareham, Mass. 02538. That property appears on Assessors Map 43, Lot 1069, in the MR30 zoning district.
All right, very well. Name and address for the record.
Tyrone Cardoza?
Jenna Cardoza.
Okay, and what are you planning to do?
We're here today to change the use of 140 Minot Ave. As it sits right now, it's 2 commercial units on the first floor. We have 2 3-bedroom apartments on the second floor that are currently rented out, and the third floor is vacant space. What we'd like to do is convert it to all 6 residential units. The first floor would be 2 1-bedroom apartments. The second floor would stay as is, 2 3-bedroom apartments, and the third floor would be 2 2-bedroom apartments.
And you said the third floor is currently vacant?
Yes, it's just open space. It hasn't been finished.
It hasn't been finished, so you haven't offered it. It's currently allowed to be 2 2-bedroom units.
No, not at this moment.
So right now, what you're permitted to have is the 2 units on the second floor.
Yes, and the
That's it.
commercial units down below.
And the 2 commercial units on the first floor are also unoccupied?
Yes.
Never have been?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry
So we
to
pulled
jump on you.
originally 4 separate permits. So the 2 residential units were finished, and then we got occupancy permits to rent those out.
Yeah, but
But we lived there for a while and then rented out.
And you have all the plans in front of you for,
Showing what we would like to do, we have the plan showing pretty much what we would like to do on the 3rd floor
first floor and third
and the
floor.
1st floor. Changing the 1st floor
You
from
want a minute to
commercial
look at everything,
to...
Naz? Okay,
Yeah.
just give us a minute to absorb your
do you
package.
have a book for the bylaw?
I do.
You are in MR30. Are you on Minot Ave just before the corner?
Yes, right
Deep-
before the fire station at the end.
There's the... I need to write my name on it.
Mr. Requena wrote this letter.
Back in March.
Isn't it more? David didn't respond to that?
This one here, I have the rejection letter, it's dated March.
But I think it's by David, isn't it?
This is
Oh, it's Requena. Oh, I thought it was more. I saw the,
So, while everybody's looking at stuff, I have some questions that really aren't 100% part of this, but they are, I guess they are. Is that building sprinklered?
No,
No.
but we have...
A quote already.
quote
We know
for-
that we will have to do it.
So in order to, if we give you the relief you request,
Yes.
you're aware that
Yes, that
the, I think the bylaw requires
absolutely.
It does,
sprinklers. The
yes.
fire department will require sprinklers.
We already have a quote for that.
I'm getting up to speed, but as the questions come, the poor chairman here has to put up with me. I just spit things out.
It is allowed by special permit, but you need footage and frontage. That's the thing, but on a MR30, you're able to do 5 units, you're gonna need 45. How big is the lot? I don't think you have enough, you need like 3 acres. You need
We
200 feet
have-
of frontage. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Right, it is a special permit, but it has to meet the criteria.
Well, it says 5 or more family resident in an existing...
It is allowed.
permitted
Right,
after review and approval.
right, it is permitted, but you need to meet the criteria. You understand?
So we might have to give some variances on frontage, lot area, is
We
that?
did have,
JC
Engineering
Engineering
come
created
over
a site plan for
Yeah, I know,
parking.
I see this,
Okay.
and,
Where are we short? Frontage, land area, both?
All of the above, right?
9397
I'm not looking at the
square feet.
plan, I'm,
well, you go to 6, table 6. You guys have the book?
I forgot my book.
All right, on the 6, table 6,
What page you on?
yeah, on
page?
page 56.
56.
Minimum lot area on top, on the MR 30, which this lot is. 2 families, 45,000 square feet. Other residential use, 30,000 square feet, star 2, and that's for each additional unit. You guys see that? It is a special permit, it's allowed use, but it has to meet the criteria. You have to have the square footage. You can do it, but you have to have the footage, which you don't. Now, what he put in the letter here, that it's allowed use, that you could do it. You understand? But he didn't say, you didn't tell him how many units you wanna do, because if you told him I wanted to do 4 units or 3 or whatever, I have to make the do the calculation, how big the square, he would tell you, it's not, you need a variance, because you only have here 9,000 square feet, and that's an existing non-conforming. You guys had that probably a long time ago. And if you are to do it today, you can do 2 units.
Okay, because we currently have 2 rental apartments and 2 commercial units down below.
Right.
So is there any, like grandfathered rules or?
Well, you are grandfathered.
actually, we have still, grandfather as far as the commercial, but we want to change that commercial to residential.
You need a variance, not a special permit. You need to apply for a variance. If we give you if the board agrees to give you those 2 commercial units to a residential, you need a variance. If we do it today, it's a defective permit. It'll be lost if anybody appeals it or anything.
Okay,
So you have to apply for a variance.
okay,
And you need, you could give it a shot, but your lot is only 9,000 square feet. For 2 units, you need 45,000. For 4 units, you need another 60. You need 105,000 square feet, and you want to do another one on top. You need 135,000 square feet, and you only have 9,000 square feet. If you were in a village district, it's a different story. You could you're still short. You need over 15,000. So regardless, your application is wrong. It should be, you need an application for a variance to swap it from commercial to residential.
okay. This is what they told me to do.
Who?
So when I went in front of the
The
building
building department?
department, this is this
first
is the
direction
road
they
they
sent
sent me in, and I did a lot of work to get here, and.
I know it's
I-
a lot of work,
Yes.
but usually things like this, it's not their job to tell you to instruct you what to do, because it could blow in your face like it did now. It's the burden on you to get an attorney or advice from professional before you come here. But
so they need 2 variances or 3?
two variances. Well, 3 actually. You need a frontage and square footage variance. And they need a variance to swap the commercial to residential.
But it's MR 30, so residential would be by right, or,
Right.
But they changed the
But they
use.
only have 9,000 square feet, 100 feet of frontage. You need square footage, frontage, and another variance to swap the commercial to residential.
A use, a square footage, and a
And
frontage.
frontage.
All right, let me ask you a question. If they were coming in front of us, the use we could act on or not tonight?
You can act on it, however, you don't
It's not
have
gonna
the
be any good,
footage.
they don't, okay.
You don't have the footage
So-
to act on it.
In the frontage, we could, if they were coming to us and saying, we have 2 existing units on the 2nd floor, we want to change the use on the 1st floor instead of the 2 more apartments to 1, and instead of 2 more on the 3rd floor to 1, it would be a 4-family instead of a 6-family.
That's a variance.
It's still a variance, but it would be less of a variance, am I correct? The square footage requirement would be less, wouldn't it?
Less, but they're way
Isn't it
short.
9,000 square feet?
Yeah.
And the requirement would be 45,000 plus 30 every
For
additional
each.
unit.
30,000 per additional unit?
Yes,
Yes.
45 is the minimum for 2-family, and then you
Four at
30
the
for every
120
additional.
and 45,
It
you're
has,
looking
it has an
160.
asterisk star with a, I mean, it has an asterisk with 2, and if you look down at the bottom of the page, the 2
Right here.
says for each additional unit.
See, 45,000,
Yeah.
each at 30,000, each additional unit, 30,000.
Wow, so they want 30,000 per unit, so they...
For 120 and
60,
40,
60,
165.
they'd want 180,000
So as
square
of
feet
now, the way it stands, I have 2 commercial units
Legally.
existing. So, we finished the 2 units, then we're gonna have a lot more traffic there, you know,
Yeah, it's
a
kind
lot more use.
Well, you wanna move the commercial to residential?
yes.
You still need a variance. If, like I said, I don't mind continuing like this, but it's illegal, it's defective. When you go record it, you're gonna have problems. So you gotta, but before you go away, let's see how the board feels about your idea.
Okay.
I don't think the 5th story is gonna fly, no way the board's gonna agree this, but how do you feel about moving the 2 commercial to residential? Rich, what do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Rich.
Do you know that property, right?
Yeah, yes, I know, I'm familiar with it, yep. I'm not quite sure.
You're not sure. Is the commercial, who rents it, what's in it?
Nobody.
Is it on your tax bill, it's commercial, it's stores?
It was gonna be 2 offices
2
or,
office spaces.
yes.
All right, do
One
you have your
residential
tax
unit.
bill with the application? Veronica, you asked for that before, didn't you?
Yeah, you mean the
The tax
assessor's
bill.
map? Yes, I keep asking. Actually, that was gonna be a question at the end of this meeting. How come we're not getting assessor maps with these applications?
You mean
But
the field card?
the field card, yes,
Right.
with the map on the back.
Let's say it's on record. Let's say on record, it's 2 commercial units. You paying taxes on 2 commercial units and 2 apartments. It says 2 commercial units on your tax bill, right?
Yeah.
Say we say this, Rich have no idea. How do you feel about transferring it to residential?
Well, I think the applicant was kind of headed in a direction that you would want to approach, at least for me, what I would want to hear in terms of traffic, and people coming in and out on that small lot if you have 2 commercial spaces. My question would be, are they limited spaces to office, or are you allowed to put for sale like a retail store? So I guess that would
At
be,
the time, that we was getting the permit, it was no limit.
Yeah,
to
there was no
what-
limit.
Of our use.
so I think that would be an approach perhaps to bring before the board, would be the reason that we would be swayed.
They do have a lot of parking there. I know the property well. They do have
Do
enough.
you share the parking lot, excuse me for interrupting, with the East Wareham Fire
Portion of
Department?
that parking lot, that is on our land, but,
Yeah.
Whose parking
That's-
lot's on your land?
part of the water department, a small portion
The
of
fire
the,
department.
small portion of it.
When I go by, it just looks
That
like all
plan-
one, it looks like all one parking lot is what
Right.
I see. And then I noticed that there's cars parked on the, close to the building, but then you have the entrance to the fire station. So I was just curious on where the property line ends at, well, I could go find out or look at the map, but how much of that parking lot is yours?
None of the parking lot,
None of that is,
not enough to park a vehicle.
okay.
Well, you could see on the plan, Rich, the line is not there, so they have to do the parking to the left, where there is,
Our proposed parking, which is done by JC Engineering, is laid out there,
It's just our land, it's not,
and that shows all of our, on our.
it's the, yeah.
So,
anyway,
through you, do you folks live in the property?
No, we live at Ford Onset Road.
Do you live at, that's, okay. So you have 2 tenants in there right now?
Yes,
And you built this building, how many years ago?
years ago.
And we
Yeah.
originally moved there and lived there
20 years ago?
at least.
15 years ago.
15 years ago? So, you built the building 15 years ago, kind of as a 6-family, with the 2 bottom units being office space, you never rented them, they just sit there empty.
Yes.
You ran out of money, so you didn't make the 2 apartments upstairs. When you built it, were the 4 units above permitted at that time, or what were you
Yeah.
permitted to build?
We were permitted to build 4 units. We originally pulled 4 separate permits, which was 2 residential permits and 2 commercial permits.
So not the third floor, though, that was his
No,
question.
no.
Not for the
What was
third
the
floor.
story on the 3rd floor? That was
It was
just,
just storage for now, open space, yeah.
when you built it, you presented it to be storage, you didn't present it to be...
Yes.
We didn't at the
yes,
time.
exactly.
So you were issued permits to build 2 residential and 2 commercial,
Yes,
and the 3rd floor is considered attic.
yes,
Right.
exactly.
I'm just trying to
Anyway, going back to our subject, how do you feel about changing the 2 commercials to 2 residential?
I think we need, I'd rather see 2 residential units there than 2 commercial, personally. That's
Roy,
I
how do you
about
feel
it.
about it?
I think it would be better with the 2 residential myself.
Jake,
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Veronica?
I don't have an opinion either way.
All right, no opinion. This is the deal. Regardless, you have to come back for a variance. Okay? And you have to have a strong argument about it. I would recommend somebody from JC to argue the case with you, or an attorney, you know, or a contractor. So, I wouldn't try for the 5th unit. I don't think you'll get it, but
For the
maybe...
third floor? You
What?
wouldn't- For the third floor, you wouldn't try for those units?
I wouldn't, you could try it, but there's no, you don't have the room for it. And it's very, it's a small, very not this lot, it really breaks the law. You know, it's not allowed use and you're asking too much. If there was, like I said, in the Onset Village, you could do 6, 7 units, or with the Wareham Village, you could do it, but not over there.
Is that because, now, if we did continue...
Come
with our-
closer to the mic so it's on.
Continue on with our commercial unit, now, there's gonna be tight space for parking, you know what I mean? So, it would make sense to make it residential, that way the tenants that are living upstairs, then they wouldn't have to, you know, have a burden of, you know, commercial buildings being downstairs also underneath of them.
That's a good argument when you come back for the variance.
Right. And JC Engineering made sure that there's the right amount of parking spaces for the 6 units, because that's what they explained to me.
Honey, he's wrong, sorry, because 6 units, you need 12 parking spaces. Over 10, you need a site plan. That means you need drainage, you need curbing, you need landscaping architect. You need, JC knows better. You need a major site plan once you have over, how many bedrooms each?
So the first floor would be 1-bedroom apartments each.
1 bedroom each.
The second floor right now is 3 bedrooms, and the
So 2.
third floor would be 2 bedrooms each.
Okay, so that's 10.
Well, it's 1.5
2 floors.
for a what did we just go through
Yeah,
this?
1.5.
1.5 for a 1-bedroom.
So 2, 4, 6, 9. Okay, sorry, JC, so I guess you don't need site plan. I thought you're doing all 2 bedrooms.
Right.
Sorry, no offense, John.
So what is it, the first floor is 2 units at 1 bedroom
1 bedroom
apiece?
each, yeah.
1 bedroom, so
The
that's
second- the
that's 3
second floor-
parking.
The second floor is what, 2 units at how many bedrooms each?
2 or 3, that's 2 parking each. That's 4 and 3, 7.
And then the 3rd floor proposal is for 2 units at how many
2
bedrooms?
bedrooms.
2 bedrooms.
2 units at 2 bedroom each? Okay,
the third
that's more, that's 11. Then you need, no, I'm not,
11 here.
11, so you
Yes.
need a site plan. So, sorry, John, you do need a site plan.
Well, this is a site plan with 11 spaces on it.
I know, site plan means drainage,
Oh.
landscape and architect.
That's 12 bedrooms.
It's, right, so in major site plan.
Now, what if
Not
we
just,
were to...
not just drawing it with the parking spaces.
Okay.
So would they do
Understood,
that?
understood.
Yes.
Now, what if we were to go from 2 bedroom to 1 bedroom apartments?
Right.
So,
Right, but the number of units is, you're not gonna get a variance for it. So you
could
have to...
apply and we could say no.
Just costs you money to...
It's, Well, if you're gonna apply anyway, you need to come before us, correct me if I'm wrong, you need to come before us for a variance to basically do anything that you want to do with this building at this point, to change the status.
Yes.
So you could ask us for the moon, and we can tell you what we're willing to give you, whether it's all of it, a little bit of it, or none of it.
Right.
Understood, understood.
But if you come for a variance for what you're proposing, you need a site plan review. That's a lot of engineering plan, it'll be that thick.
Now, if we go down the amount of bedrooms, then that goes, that in return limits the amount of parking spaces that goes down. So then I won't have to get a site plan.
Right, it have
correct?
to be under 10 parking spaces, not 10, under 9 cars.
Okay, so if we then proposed, well, we would then say each apartment would be one-bedroom units instead of,
That will work.
Well, besides the existing one?
Each one bedroom is a parking and a half.
yes.
But my recommendation to you, you come back, just leave your 2 apartments upstairs, come back for variance for the 2 commercial to become residential. Don't even try for the other ones. I'll say no from now.
Can you get them to be 2-bedroom on the first floor? Is there enough space?
No, the square footage wouldn't work.
No.
Not comfortably.
What if you did one
The
there
second and
and?
third floor has an overhang, so there's a little more square footage on the second and third floor. That's why you can
So,
fit extra
I
bedrooms.
get it that 2 one-bedroom apartments would drag a hell of a lot, heck of a lot. I can't say hell in a public meeting, can I? I'm supposed to say hell or damn or shit or any of that stuff. So I get it, 2 one-bedrooms would drag more rent than 1 two-bedroom.
Your car around to get out,
If you put just 1 two-bedroom on the first floor, you wouldn't get as much rent.
then how do you shuffle?
Same thing on the 3rd floor. 2 units would drag more rent than, but if you're sitting here and you're listening to the tone of the board, you're hearing, you're gonna get what you got already and maybe nothing more. So, 0 bedrooms gets no rent.
Great.
Absolutely.
So you might wanna look at the first floor being a 2-bedroom instead of 2 one-bedrooms. It's a compromise. I'm thinking out loud with you, trying to think out loud. I also don't know what triggers the need for sprinklers. Is it the number of units, or is it the square feet, or both? To have 6 units, they'd have to be sprinkled, but if they only have 4 units, do they need sprinklers?
Anything over 2.
Anything over 2, so the sprinklers are gonna have to happen no matter
But
what.
you have, that's on your deal with the fire department.
No, I'm just trying to figure out.
Now, be aware, once you change it, 4 units, it's hefty bill for sprinkler system. So you should check on that.
We've got a
Yes,
quote
I have a
for
quote.
6 units.
And it's more than $100, I'm sure.
Yes,
It's a
it's
couple,
high.
yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah. So, first of all, before you leave here, we want you to understand, no matter what, the way, the application you brought in tonight, our chair and the body finds it incorrect. It's the wrong, you're asking for the wrong thing. Okay, so you gotta come back, and you gotta re-advertise, you gotta spend the money to send all the neighbors there, see all those people in the audience that are here to oppose your request? They all have to be, notified again, so they have the right to come back on the new application. So you have to you have to do it like all over again, but the good news is, if you leave here tonight, you're hearing the consensus of opinions. You've been collecting 2 rents out of the building, and there's a chance you could collect more rents, and I think that's the goal. I don't think you built the building just because you needed a place to put stuff. I know we all acquire stuff to fill the space we have, but, you know, that'd be an expensive warehouse. So I think you need to look at your plans, talk to an engineer, has been suggested, maybe even an attorney, and figure out how you're gonna drag the most rent out of the structure you have, and come back here and ask us for the least number of units and bedrooms. The less bedrooms and the less units, from what I'm hearing, listening to the tone of the board, the more likely you are to get some cooperation. I can tell you already what I heard this evening. If I was sitting where you are, I'd already have figured out, I ain't getting the 6 units. That would be what I heard.
Or 5.
And, okay, so I think that, I just heard something else too. So you might be smart to look at the third floor as a unit and the first floor as a unit. I don't know what you were looking to do, but I know the difference between a one-bedroom unit and a three-bedroom unit is about $1,000 in rent per month. And so if you had, 3 bedrooms on the third and 3-bedroom, or 2 and 2 with a den that wasn't a bedroom, you might end up with decent rental income and get to build out your building. I'm not promising you're gonna get a yes, but I'm just trying to give you some ideas of how to come back.
You appreciate that?
Appreciate it. Could we ask the board what you may think about, what your opinion is for changing the 2 commercial units down bottom to 2 one-bedroom apartments?
That's what I did pull a kind of vote. Jake had no problem. I didn't have a problem. Doesn't mean it's okay. He didn't have a problem.
I didn't really have an
Rich
opinion.
has no comment, and Veronica don't have a comment yet. So if we are to vote today, you would lose, because you need 4 out of 5.
What is it exactly that I need to get a variance, but where do I go from here?
You're coming back to us and you're asking for a variance.
A
You're coming back to us asking for a change of use. You're coming back to us and you're asking for variances for frontage, for lot area coverage, and for lot size. I think you need 3 variances, am I right?
Right.
Okay, so you need those 3 variances, and
What was the change of
Area
use?
coverage would be a special
change of
permit.
use, they're permitted to have 2 commercial.
They wanna change it to residential.
What they're asking for to be 2 one-bedrooms are right now 2 lawyers' offices, or 2 tax preparers, or 2 taxidermists, 2 hairstylists,
So I
2 commercial
understand that,
units.
but aren't they looking for a variant, would they be looking for a variance of change of use?
That's the use, that's what they're
Okay.
asking, so they're looking for a use, yeah.
Because they
So
don't
it's-
have the square footage.
So-
If they had the square
So
footage,
you're
it
looking
would.
for
Lot
4
size,
variances.
use, frontage, and I think it would be a special permit, probably, I'm assuming they're already, not in the bylaw for the size of the building in the lot, in terms of FAR, is that what you were talking about, or coverage?
Well, I don't know
I don't have a problem with that.
what triggers a special permit.
MR30,
They're not
don't,
changing the size of it, so it shouldn't matter
right,
for lot coverage.
yeah. See, exactly. So there's no issue with FAR and coverage.
So FAR and coverage, that's not gonna be
It's
So
not gonna be an
use,
issue.
frontage, lot size.
use, coverage, use,
'cause it's
Use
commercial.
frontage and lot size.
and lot size. Those are the 3 things, those are the 3 issues you gotta
Frontage and lot size.
come back with compelling arguments.
Do I go back to the planning board?
No, the planning,
start
no,
this-
the zoning
Building
department,
department, you mean?
building
Building
department.
department, well, but this letter tells me to do this, so I'm so
It's okay.
confused.
Right, the plan,
because-
let me explain what you did. You went to the commissioner, you said, can I do 5 units in this location?
6.
3, 4, 5, 6. He said, yes, it's allowed. That's all what he wrote.
Okay,
You didn't tell him exactly how many units you wanted. If you had told
I
them.
did.
Oh, absolutely.
I did. I had a meeting with him, and I did. I explained it exactly how I explained it to you.
But let's look at the date of this, March 25th.
I recommend, maybe you could get a lawyer, prove us wrong.
I'm not trying to prove you wrong, but I did.
I'm not
I
here
did
to
go
argue.
in front of him, and I
Listen,
explained
no.
it
I
the
want to know
same
the
way.
process, and I think you need to re-advertise, go down, I would say,
Ma'am, listen, we don't get offended if you prove us wrong.
Right.
We, okay, it doesn't hurt our feelings.
Right.
So we would like you to win, we'd like you to prove us wrong, but we cannot break the law like this,
I understand.
the bylaw. So hopefully you could get a lawyer and prove us wrong and go from there.
Can I-
Mr. Chair, if
can
I
ask-
may?
Go ahead.
So what I'm thinking is perhaps if you didn't do the lawyer thing, which I think, or an engineering firm, which I strongly suggest you do, because they'll know exactly what to do, but you could go to the building department and say, this is the ruling of the zoning department, this is what they said, we need 3 variances, and go from there.
Okay.
Also, if I may, Mr. Chair, Monique Baldwin, Assistant Town Planner. Yes, I do recommend you reaching out to us, the zoning department, and then from there, we can coordinate a meeting between the building department, the zoning department, make sure everybody's on the same page
Okay.
regarding what you're requesting. I do understand, yes, you do need a variance for a wide variety of things. So I recommend if you could just reach out to me, and then I can kind of coordinate that with the director of planning, and then get everybody on the same page.
Your
And then
name
we
again?
can,
I'm sorry.
Monique Baldwin.
Monique.
But that is a call that the
Her
building
brother's name is
commissioner,
Alex.
I caught that in the hallway.
excuse me. That's a call that the building commissioner makes,
Correct.
okay?
And that's who I met with, right?
Yeah, that's,
Okay,
he must, and something
For
went
the
wrong.
record, I do believe he is new.
okay.
So I think that this just might have been a fluke. So we can definitely, take it from there and make sure that we have different departments
Okay.
with a team approach.
Okay, I'm trying to just leave here today and understand what to do, since this seemed to be the wrong direction. Thank you.
All the work you did, though, we needed it anyway, so,
Need it anyway.
yeah, so
And
everything you
I
did.
met with JC Engineering, they did this plan, they knew I was coming in front of the board, so I'm a little surprised that it's not everything that they needed, because I spent good money to do it.
I
So
understand.
I'm a little like,
You guys are going in the right direction, though.
okay, thank you, I appreciate that, thank you.
All right, very well. So that's what we're doing. So what we gonna do,
Do we dismiss this? Do we ask them to withdraw?
you should withdraw your application. Or
If I
Or
may.
let's continue, no, you know what?
Let's hear from the new assistant
Yeah,
town planner.
go
Sorry.
ahead.
Hi, if I may, Mr. Chair. It might be best to just continue the case because with a withdrawal, I believe they'll have to pay a new fee again. and
Right, I was
that's
gonna
not
say
what-
this, suggest this, and I think as council, like I said, maybe he proves us wrong. So let's continue it regardless.
So continue, and would we, even if we continue it, might we need to re-advertise?
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, definitely for a variance.
So,
Are you gonna look for a lawyer?
My mother-in-law is an attorney, so I could
Yeah,
probably
so
have.
why don't you do this? Let's continue it. And in the meantime, start preparing your paper for variance, unless she says otherwise.
make a motion to continue this hearing until
July 13th.
July 13th, unless you'd like it to be later.
No, 13 is
You
good.
be
Do
ready
that,
in
and
2
then
weeks,
if I
3
needed more
weeks?
time, I could let you guys know, correct?
You could, at that time, you could come in and say, I need more time.
Okay,
Or you could send us a letter, and
great, okay.
we want to work with you. I think you
I
can figure
appreciate
that
it.
out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Okay, do I
My
have,
motion is to continue.
do I have a second?
Aye.
Second by Jake, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose, abstain. So we'll see you on the 13th.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Very much.
Thank you. Yep.
Thanks.
Okay,
This is,
what's with this?
what's with this? This is, okay, we dealt with this, but to answer your question, we had, this lady, filed a formal complaint that there were minutes that hadn't been recorded and posted.
So did that, do
So as
we
a
have to do
result-
anything?
As a result, so we voted on it at the last meeting, and we agreed to try to get it taken care of within 30 days. As a result, the town has found some money. And at all our meetings from going forward, we're gonna have this young lady that's been sitting down to the end of the table here to our left, almost like a court stenographer, correct? You know,
That's
except
Patty.
And she's gonna, her fingers are gonna be going all the time like she's nervous. There'll be
Nice.
a keyboard there, and at the end of the meeting, there'll be minutes, and they'll be done.
We want to see those comments in the minutes, by the way.
All right, very well, let's,
Um,
anything else before we close?
Yes,
Yeah, go ahead.
the field cards. We had discussed before in meetings that we were going to have field cards with all of these applications, and we don't, and I.
That's Monique.
Hi. Hello,
Yeah.
nice to meet you guys.
Hey,
Yeah, hi,
Monique.
how are you?
So,
Nice to
I'm
meet
good,
you.
thanks.
V-
So, that was going to be actually something I wanted to talk to you guys about, is just any special requests that you have. Ken and I are planning to have reports for you. regarding any and all cases that come forward. So if there's not, it'll just be a summary. It'll have like an aerial view, a picture of the residence, etc., as well as spelling out the relief needed. That way it's a little bit easier for you guys to digest the information. We'll try and get that to you ahead of time. And yes, so you said site cards?
Yield cards,
Yield
yeah.
cards. Okay, we can definitely get those too.
It's like the tax bill.
Right, it's
With-
online, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the tax bill. And also we had prior made it kind of mandatory, anytime you come for a variance, definitely a site plan by an engineer, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, because
For sure.
especially when they making less setbacks and stuff, so we need a by a registered land surveyor. Special permit, it depends what they're here for, but definitely by the variance has to have a land surveyor stamp on it. And
Okay.
with pictures of the property, a lot of people failing to bring pictures, at least 5, 6 pictures of the existing
Yeah, that's
property.
helpful.
That's part
Right.
of the application.
Yeah, it's very helpful,
Of
especially,
course,
you
you
know,
need
it
to see
brings
the
the property
site.
to mind. We're like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I know where that is.
Right.
Of course.
There is a list,
That's what I'm looking for right here, right now.
Okay.
there is a list that we've done a long time ago, but apparently nobody follows it.
Well, instructions for application for special permit / variance, Wareham Board of Appeals. There's this document that is kind of old, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages long, and it filing the petition app, so it's a list of everything that they're supposed to bring. So I guess what Veronica is asking is on this list of you shalls, we'd like to add the field card,
Okay, great.
to add, and if the photos aren't in here, we'd like to add photos. And what's happened over the years is that when the list was first made, it was strictly adhered to. And then somebody would come in and they'd say, hey, do I really need to have this, this, and this? Can you just look at that? And the board would say, yeah, we're good guys, we can make a decision without that. And then as it got further and further and further diluted, now it's just, you know, hey, I want to build a house, yeah, okay.
Right, and I feel like, you know, it starts with the planning department, right? So we'll make sure that you guys aren't in the position where you need to make decisions without knowing, you know, what the site looks like. So, yeah, we can definitely add that, amend that guide, or it looks like a checklist application. And you guys should be in good shape.
If you guys want to chit chat more, I want to recuse myself, whatever you
You know,
guys like.
no.
Because I'm,
You need to get out, are you tired?
yeah.
I make a
24 hours
motion,
later.
I make a motion to close.
Okay, motion to close by Veronica, that's second by Jake, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, oppose, abstain, thank you. Nice to meet you all, thanks for coming in.
I'm sorry your arms are tired from all that flopping.